Hey guys, it's Camus and Chess Beauty 61. At the end of Chess Beauty 60, we left you with this position. This is white to mate in 3. So if you haven't tried to solve it, it's always more fun if you try to solve it first. Give it a try. Okay, I'm assuming that you took a stab at it. This is a problem from H.F.L. Meyer from 1861. As I said, it's a mate in 3. This is actually a fairly famous problem. It's the problem that introduced the Bristol theme to the problem world at large, to much celebration and joy. And in previous and recent Chess Beauties, we've discussed Zeppler doubling and Turton doubling. And those are both more refined versions of the Bristol theme, which we're going to see here, which if you didn't solve it right away, this hint that I've just given you might enable you to try it now. Anyway, the key to solving this problem is recognizing the fact that if the white queen were on the 7th rank, it would already be checkmate. So obviously this is going to play into it. Now, there are problems with getting the queen to the 7th rank because it'll take her 2 tempi to do that. Say she could go to H5 first and then to H7 or F7. But in the meantime, black can play king to A7 and then bishop to B7. And that will effectively shield the black king from a quick checkmate. He's still going to be mated, there's no question about that, but not in 3 moves. So how do we defeat this defense? Well, the key is bishop to H8. A bit surprising, and it was actually quite shocking at the time. Bishop to H8. And this has the idea of shuttling the queen from the square A1 to G7 and delivering mate there. But why this way? Okay, well, we'll show you why. Now, the only move in the position that makes any sense is king to A7. And this is going to bring into play the defense we just talked about. Now, if he plays king to C7, he falls immediately. Queen to C2 check, king to B7, and then queen to H7 is checkmate. So that doesn't work out. So his only defense, instead of king to C7, is king to A7. The move after king to A7 is queen to A1, and this is a crucial move. This is why the bishop had to go all the way back to H8, because in this position, the bishop is pinned and therefore forces the king to move again. And this is the neat little point of the puzzle. King to B7, queen to G7, and that's checkmate. So the Bristol theme is when one piece withdraws to allow another piece to occupy the same line or diagonal. Now, obviously, in the original position, let's go back to the opening position, you would think that you could achieve something of the same by bishop to A3. The bishop withdraws, allowing access to the diagonal. But, of course, in this position, the bishop is no longer pinned, and the fastest mate we can get is a mate in 5. So king to A7, queen to A1, bishop to B7, bishop to C1 check, bishop to A6, bishop to F4, king to B7, queen to G7 check. So, very clever theme, and a surprisingly modern looking problem. It's very attractively set. It looks like a normal playing position. It doesn't have any of the unnatural look that I kind of despise in chess problems. And it's very clean. So anyway, that was the famous Bristol problem from 1861, and I'm trying to introduce some more biographical features to the series. H.F.L. Meyer was born in Germany, in Hanover, in 1839. He lived to be quite an old man. In 1928 he died. He was 87, I believe, so that was pretty good. He learned the game late in life, relatively speaking. According to the one biographical source I have, which I don't trust completely, he learned the game in 1862, which doesn't make any sense since he published this problem in 1861. And then by the next year, that he would have been 22 years old. By the next year, he was the editor of a famous chess magazine in Germany, and then a few years later, he became the editor of a chess magazine in Britain. He seemed to be something of an Anglophile. His first book was on the British chess champions, and probably the most interesting thing about H.F.L. Meyer. He composed 1,000 problems, but he is the inventor of the algebraic system, and he came up with this in the early 1870s. So it took a long time for his idea to catch hold, but we all owe him a debt of gratitude for that. So let's look ahead to Chess Beauty 62, and this is going to be another problem, and this is another famous theme, although I'll give you a small hint. It's not related to Zeppler, Turton doubling, or the Bristol theme. So a new theme for us here on this series. Mate in 3, have at it. This is a very attractive problem. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.